First things first, a small bit of housekeeping because everybody has been asking me about him. Rocco is still on his own. Harley is in season and in her nana's. Here's a photograph of her watching Crufts 2022. She's getting spoilt rotten, having a great time, just relaxing. Rocco is a small bit depressed, but we're doing okay, we both are. She needs the rest and peace and quiet, and hopefully she'll be back at the weekend. I put a poll on my community tab about 10 days ago now. A very uncomfortable question. I hesitated putting it up, but it is relevant and I do want people's opinions. Usually when I do polls, I follow that up with a video, but I never got a chance to do it with this one. There was a lot of things happening in the Delphi case, Michael Vaughan, that caught my attention and I made videos about instead. And then with Summer we had the whole Jose and Benny debacle, but I want to talk about it now because it's been on my mind since. I asked the question, do you believe Don was SA in Summer? Horrible question and topic, I know. But a massive 80% of you said yes, 20% said no. And it was interesting to me in the comments how the 20% were shocked at the 80% and the 80% was shocked that there was a 20%. And there is obviously huge red flags there. Don has admitted SAing his stepsister. When he did do it, he did it in a way to kind of victimise her and downplay his accountability. But I do believe he SA'd his sisters. One of them was Summer's age when it happened. Don was 12, I believe. But do lepers change their spots? One of his sister's friends has also come out saying that he SA'd her, and a few other women. I don't know much about those details, so I don't want to talk about them. What Don said about it was, we were just playing house, like all kids do, and also came out and said things like she started it. Another red flag is Don having showers with Summer makes a lot of us uncomfortable, and rightly so, I think. And you begin to wonder about things that you shouldn't be wondering about. There's one other thing I want to play. It's audio from Don talking to Chris McDonough.
I've always knew that something was going to happen to Summer. It's something in my gut has always told me. And I've always told Candace, watch her closely. That's my baby. Do not let nothing happen to her. I told her that all the time.
What brought you to that thought?
I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was, or I just always had this feeling that something's going to happen to her. I didn't know if she was just going to get accidentally run over. I didn't know what it was.
Did you think she would be kidnapped?
Never, nothing like that.
Okay.
No, I just knew it was something. I just had this intense love for her, and I think she knew something too. I think so.
The part at the end there, I left it in because it is a bit weird to me. I think she always knew too that something was going to happen. Like, very, very strange comment to make about your daughter. But at the start of that, he says, I always knew that something was going to happen to Summer. I always told Candace, watch her closely. That's my baby. Do not let anything happen to her. I told her that all the time. I always just had a feeling that something was going to happen to her. Many people picked that up at the time, and we talked about how Don had a bad feeling about Candace, and was it her negligence, and was he recalling past situations where Candace let Summer wander away, stuff like that. But is Don telling us something about himself here? What's he so worried about? Is he worried that somebody is going to take his baby, his prized asset? He talks about his gut. Is his thoughts related to CP here? If you are one, you'll be able to think like one. You'll be able to say, wow, look at my daughter, SCP would love to get his hands on her. You have these sick, dark thoughts. We know when he was younger, he interfered with girls Summer's age. And these are some sick, horrible, dark thoughts, I know. But I can't argue with that 80%. I completely understand why they're saying yes to that. However, my own opinion to that would be no. Huge red flags, but I just don't see enough evidence directly on Summer. I think it's important to pay attention to the people closest, to the family who kind of poured water on that Terry a bit. Ali and family would happily throw them all under the bus, but when they get asked about that, they hold back and are like, no, Don loved her, he would never hurt her. Candace herself, on calls that she didn't know she was being recorded on, begins to say, yes, it's possible Don's involved, but when asked about SA, she just says no. Jose, Pinocchio, even that liar, the way he talked about Summer climbing into the bed, it sounded like a very kind of natural thing, a a child just climbing into their parents' bed at night. And I think if he had seen anything or knew any opportunity to connect it, he would. Even though he did talk about the shower multiple times during that stream. And we know he was only there with Don for a week. So I'm not sure we can pay attention to anything Jose said. But there is lots of signs, lots of warning signs that Summer was in trouble. And she was in danger, no doubt about it. I don't think there was any hope for that poor little girl. And I think she did save her brothers. But I still don't see enough evidence to say that Don was essaying Summer. And if I was to vote in that poll, I would say no. Now, if I was to change that question slightly, do you think Don would go on to essay Summer? I would say yes. Awful thoughts, but I do believe he would. And if I changed the question to, do you believe Don had thoughts about essaying Summer? I would also say yes. An awful thing to say about another man, but Don is a horrible, horrible man. He's a scumbag who beats women, animals, kids. I have nothing nice to say about him. A lot of creators are going back to the start with this, rewatching old live streams. I don't want to go back to the start. I just want to go to the end. I want this to be over. But I do understand taking one step back to take 2 steps forward. And trying to get there will mean you have to talk about some really uncomfortable things. And I think the TBI have explored these dark, uncomfortable thoughts also. We know Don has a dark, twisted mind. He talked about Summer in dungeons after she went missing. And more, and especially recently, because I did kind of come off Don for a while. But I do think that dark, twisted mind is in some way directly connected to the disappearance of Summer Wells. In some way, could it be that she was a temporary or permanent transaction? I think it's possible. I've said it in a few videos, but if you don't think that's possible, look up Camry Holland and her mother and what she did to her. I was on a live stream a week or so back, and I actually read an update on the case on the live stream, and it just threw me for the rest of it. It's horrific stuff, and it's very hard to wrap your head around how humans could do this, but it does happen. Could it be a drug debt? Don allegedly left a month before Summer went missing, left with no money but came back with a load of drugs. Did he have a month to pay off that debt? And if he didn't pay it off, they were going to take something of his? Was it as brazen as those people coming straight up onto the yard that day and taking Summer in front of Candace? Is that what she knows? Did Summer die that day, and did Don meet Candace and dispose of the body? Was it his idea? Was Candace involved in the accident and Don involved with the cover-up? They're both implicated, so neither will talk. But it's very, very hard to believe, and getting even more hard to believe, that these people have no knowledge of what happened. There is something here they're not saying, and I do think Don is involved. Somehow. Please let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Don is involved, and how he is involved. In what way. I have a stream scheduled in for Michael Monkey Vaughan on Monday. Please, if you're getting into that case, or if you're interested already, come along. And I know Michelle After Dark is having a live stream on her Michelle Walks channel. Depending on when you see this video, you might have to catch her on replay, but please go and give it a watch. Michelle isn't going to put you wrong with that sort of stuff. We know that things aren't good with Summer. We know there's dark, twisted thoughts there. We know that the likelihood is Summer isn't alive. But that's not the case with Monkey. We have a real chance we can find him. And by having an interest in his story, sharing his poster, it could make all the difference. Thank you for watching until the end. Thanks to all the new subscribers of the channel. Thanks to all the new channel members who joined recently. I'm having great crack in the members only tab. And as always, thank you to my gorgeous, beautiful Patreon members. Good luck, God bless, have a good day.